Sairam. If one had to explain the term omnipresence of God to a child, what would you do? How would you do that? One of the best analogies that comes to mind is that of air, which is present everywhere. Air is there above us, below us, all around us, even within us. And yet, we cannot see this air. We can only feel it, perceive it, and experience it as a gentle breeze caressing our cheeks, or possibly as a strong wind blowing our hair away. We can even experience this air in our own breath. So hum, as Swami would tell us. But then I got a thrilling new meaning and definition for omnipresence as I read the experience of Professor Dr. Kofi Oduro from Ghana. His experience he has recorded in this book, Sathya Sai Baba Divine Incarnate, which has been compiled by Mr. Victor Krishna Kanu, and it contains many stories, one of which really stood out and stunned me. Before we go into that story, let us travel to this city of Accra. It is the November of 2025, the 100th birthday celebrations, the centenary birthday celebrations of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is on, and it is Prasadam distribution time. Let us receive this Vibhuti Prasadam at this beautiful Sai temple. At the Osu Sai temple in Accra, Ghana, more than 100 devotees gathered to sing the glory, the name, the form of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. They also participated in service activities, and the school children. Yes, there is a Sathya Sai school in Ghana. The school children also participated in service activity, traveling to a nearby hospital and serving the patients there. Now just imagine, 10,000 kilometers away from Puttaparthi Prasanthi Nilayam, there is another Prasanthi Nilayam where Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is celebrated, revered, worshipped and experienced. How? Of course, Swami traveled to Africa. Swami traveled to East Africa, to Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, the only foreign travel that he has ever done. But even then, he did not visit Ghana. Did he not? This is the experience that is sure to make our jaws drop in awe and our hearts drip with love for Swami. The August 1978 issue of the Sanatana Sarathi carries a report of the various service, devotional and spiritual activities being carried out at the Osu Sai Center in Accra, Ghana. And the one person named in that report is Professor K.A. Oduro, Kofi Oduro. This medical person is involved completely in running a dispensary, doing many other service activities, carrying out bhajans, Nagar Sankirtan, in fact, setting up a Prasanthi Nilayam in faraway Ghana. The amazing thing, dear brothers and sisters, is the fact that it was only 3 months later, in November 1978, that Professor Oduro, this medical man, made the first ever travel to India and to Puttaparthi. Before even coming to Swami in that sense, he is already doing all of these. Why? How? This is that fantastic story. Professor Oduro was a Christian and he had lost his faith in Christianity. He was almost like an agnostic. And this worried his elder brother a lot. His elder brother felt that his younger brother need to be brought back to the spiritual path, at least if not to the religious path. And so, Mr. Kwame Oduro, the elder brother, suggested to his younger brother Kofi, why don't you come back to spirituality? Why don't you explore these two Indian gurus who have set up ashrams in the United States? One of them was also the elder brother's guru. But then Professor Oduro was not at all interested. He read through their books, but nothing struck a right chord in his heart. And so he left it at that. It was in 1972 that his elder brother excitedly shared with him a new book that had come out and was creating waves. Sai Baba Man of Miracles by Howard Murphet landed in the hands of Professor Oduro, who read it from end to end, completely engrossed and absorbed. And suddenly he felt a spark in his heart. He felt a connection to this Sathya Sai Baba, who looked like an African but was located in faraway India. After that, every time he got an occasion or an opportunity to meet with or interact with his elder brother, the discussion invariably turned to Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. From August 1972, Professor Oduro had to spend about 15 months in Canada. When he was in Canada, his brother encouraged and enthused him to visit these two gurus so that he can start following the spiritual path. Though he went and visited, again it didn't resonate in his heart. But during those travels in California, he came to the Tustin Book Center and got to know that this is a treasure trove of multiple Sathya Sai books. He brought all these books back with him home in 1973 and began to read them. And in his heart, he was convinced that Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is not a Messiah, not a prophet, not a saint, but the embodiment of divinity itself. This is the supreme force in the universe. Why that conviction came, don't ask me, don't even ask him, because he also has no idea. But he began to participate in different spiritual activities that Swami has recommended. And then began his transformation. He gave up drinking alcohol because he got to know that Swami does not like it. He even gave up eating meat, which was a regular thing for him. The power of the divine in overcoming addictions is so essential and phenomenal. That has been captured in detail at the story in this link above. Do have a look at that. As the personal transformation came along, Professor Oduro found himself visiting the church more often and praying to Lord Jesus Christ. Swami always says that my goal is not to set up a new religion, but to make a Christian a better Christian, a Muslim a better Muslim, a Buddhist a better Buddhist. That is what happened to Professor Oduro. He became a better Christian. There were many miracles that Professor Oduro experienced. It started off with Swami coming in his dream and guiding him in his day-to-day life. In 1974, there was a terrible automobile crash, but he escaped unscathed and nothing happened even to his vehicle. This was a miracle which he credited to Swami's blessings. Then in 1978, in the beginning of the year, his mother was unconscious for 3 days. He got an emergency phone call telling him to rush to his mother, who was not responding at all. And the first thing that he did when he reached his mother's home was to play the audio cassette containing Bhagwan's bhajans, Swami's golden voice. He decided that he would treat his mother after playing these couple of bhajans and meditating on Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Before he could open his eyes to begin her treatment, he hears her calling out, "Hey handsome, when did you come?" Wow! Not only was his mother speaking, she was cracking jokes. She woke up and she had a good meal and she was back to normal. These are the kinds of miracles that he witnessed, which convinced him that Jesus was walking on earth. In the October of 1978, his son had to get admitted in a boarding school. But then the son was so attached to the mother that he felt it would be impossible for him to stay in the hostel. As per the rules of that educational institution, he could meet with his parents only on weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays. But then he wanted to meet his mother daily. His mother also wanted to meet him daily, and so every afternoon there would be a lot of pleading, argument between the mother and the school's authorities so that the mother could meet with the son and the son could meet with the mother. Professor Oduro did not know how long would this be allowed and what would happen. Maybe he would have to pull his son out from this hostel. That was when he remembered God. We often remember Swami as the last resort. If we manage to make Swami our first resort, life will become so much better. This has been my personal experience, dear brothers and sisters, that before anything happens, let us remember Swami. Let Swami be our first thought. Then many of the emergencies that we think we'll need Swami's help for will not even arise in the first place. Making Swami the first resort reminds me of this beautiful story of the hostel at Vrindavan, which is at that link above. Do enjoy that story. Now, when he prayed to Swami, something phenomenal happened. The next day afternoon, as usual, after a lot of pleading, coaxing, cajoling, arguing, and debate, the mother was allowed to meet with the son. The son comes smiling, embraces his parents, and tells the mother, "Mom, it is all right. We can meet only in the weekends. Don't worry, Swami is with me always." Now, Swami is with me is a common statement that we make, possibly in a very casual manner and in a very theoretical manner. But the exuberance, the joy, the enthusiasm that was coming from this boy certainly made it clear that he has had some glimpse of this truth. And then the boy reveals. He says the previous evening, actually at the night, before going to bed, he was doing his prayers. And when he opened his eyes, was he pleasantly surprised to see Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba seated on his bed. Swami just smiled at him and blessed him. And in his heart, the boy knew that Swami is always there with him. In that joy, he again closed his eyes and expressed gratitude. And when he opened his eyes, Swami was gone. Swami was gone, but that conviction that Swami is always with me, Swami is always by my side, stayed forever. That is when he slept peacefully at night, and the next day morning, though he knew that he is not able to see Swami, he knew that Swami is there with him always, and any time Swami will choose to show himself also. And that is why he told his mother, "It is all right, Mom, you need not come every day. The weekends are fine." The next weekend itself, Professor Oduro found himself not at his son's school, but at Prasanthi Nilayam, Puttaparthi. He sat for darshan, wanting to personally thank this beautiful being, this Bhagawan, this Lord of the Kali Yuga, who had redeemed his life, who had transformed his life. And as Swami came for darshan, Swami walked straight up to him, smiled at him, and asked him, "Are you from Ghana?" The professor had no reply. He had only tears, and he had a heart erupting with joy. Swami smiled and moved on. These experiences, these stories convince me that when there is longing and when the time is right, we will see Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in flesh and blood with our own eyes. Well, this is not just a one-off story. When I heard the experience of Mr. Guy Noel from the Ivory Coast, by the way, that interview is present at this link above, you will see how Swami manifested himself in Ivory Coast. So also another Ghanaian, Mr. George Besompem, whom I got the opportunity to interview, you can see how he experienced and felt Swami at Ghana. Swami's omnipresence is not just like the air around us. Swami's omnipresence is also like that air in a balloon, which has a form, a shape, a color, and which we can see with our naked eyes. Yes, the Lord makes us experience Him and feel Him in 1,000 ways on a daily basis, if only we are paying attention. But the Lord can also manifest Himself in His physical form. As we read the story of Mr. Oduro, we will see that after this, not just for his eyes, his ears, his nose, his skin, all of them perceived Swami, felt Swami, experienced Swami in Accra, Ghana for many, many years and decades after that. Those are the seeds that have grown as a rich harvest today Even to this day, the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization carries out spiritual, devotional, and service activities in Ghana. It runs the school, and everything is done free of cost. The point I want to make is that we are all very, very blessed to know Swami, to hear about Swami, to have Swami as part of our daily life, and to have love for Swami. Dear Swami, may the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.